I always use this example out of one of my favorite stories in the Bible from Joseph, right? And the reason why I want to look at this and use this as an example is because people are going to regret the way that they treated you. There were a lot of enemies that were around Joseph, a lot of enemies that he came across, but one of his main attackers was his family, his brothers. And the way that his brothers did him, because of how integral Joseph was, right? They would use different ways to try to laugh at him, bully him, and trump him. And one particular example I want to take is when they told Joseph wanted to be accepted so much, he was willing to do anything, just to prove that he could be accepted, that he didn't look down upon his brothers. But every dream that he had, it was always setting that standard and that separation of how God had planned on prospering Joseph, and how he set him apart and different from his brothers and from the rest. So you had a situation where the brothers basically tried to chump Joseph and say, hey, Joseph, why don't you go ahead and go tend to the fields and go watch this and, you know what I'm saying, or tend to the sheep, while they went off and were doing the complete opposite of what they told Joseph to do, right? So they went off and Joseph was actually working, and they were somewhere playing and lollygagging and all splashing the water with one another as a way of saying, we are all going to be for each other. You're over there since you keep saying that you're chosen and you're this and you're that, right? So there's a lot of people that did you wrong, looked at you different ways, different perspectives that people have of you because of maybe things that you said, things that you've done, a way that people look at you because you've always tried to be accepted, you tried to be liked, you tried to be favored by these people. But in some type of shape, way, form, or fashion, God always showed you that he was going to set you apart and different from the rest, from the rest, because you're special in his eyes. But there are a lot of people who gave you a lot of flack for that. So no matter where you went, no matter what jobs you work, no matter how many people you love, no matter what you've given, no matter what you've done, no matter the place, the time, the person, the organization, you were always set apart from the pack. And because of this, a lot of people, like Joseph's brothers did him, a lot of people really took advantage of the fact that they knew that you wanted to be accepted by them. They knew that you loved them. They knew that you were a good friend to them. And so what they did against you, they wouldn't do against the rest of the people that they perceive themselves to be on the ends with, people who they perceive themselves to be cool with, that they actually like. They just did not like you. They did not favor you. And I'm telling you the God honest truth right now. There may not be one particular reason as to why people didn't like you. I can almost assure you and guarantee you it's nothing that you've done against them, because I'm going to tell you something. What Joseph could have done for them to really plot and plan and scheme to place this innocent soul, child of God, messenger, hell, they own brother, baby, they blood, that they knew were innocent. This is why a lot of times they tried to chump Joseph. They knew he was innocent. They felt like Joseph couldn't fight. Joseph didn't know the inside jokes. He wasn't this and that. They hated him. They were really envious and jealous of him, so they treated him a certain type of way. But outside of that, what could he have done outside of getting messages from God that they were not getting, that would, make them want to throw this innocent soul and child in a pit? They all knew what they were doing. Let him fall. No one tried to run and think to their senses. This means they saw it all the way through to the very end. People didn't care about what they were doing to you. They saw it all the way through to the very end. When they had a chance to show God that they really wanted God to have mercy on them, people could have took you before you fell up in that pit. They could have took a finger, baby, and used all they might and soul to pull you out so that you would not fall up in that pit. But they let you fall up in that pit. And they let you stay down up in that pit until whoever it is that they sold you to and whatever it is that they wanted done against you was seen all the way through. And I'm telling you, just as Joseph's brothers, because prophecy was fulfilled. That's what people don't understand. Go back and read your Bible. Them same messages and dreams that Joseph was getting, it was the same gifts that God used to propel him and excel him to become one of the greatest, most powerful, and richest people in all of Egypt. It took time. For all my Spanish people, poco y poco. Little bit by little bit, baby. But little bit by little bit, as they took so easily and so quickly to destroy Joseph's life, God was able to build him back in his image in the way that everything that happened to Joseph made him into who he was and becoming the most richest and most powerful person in all of Egypt. People don't understand who they be coming across, who they be sitting up here and putting their mouth on, who they be running around and talking shit about, spreading to people's business because of a period or affliction or a season you were going through that everybody knew, or maybe some people did not know. But for what people did not know, they should not have sat up here and exploited that. They shouldn't have taken upon themselves to sit up here and spread it or add insult to injury. And I'm telling you, man, y'all don't even have to believe me, man. I know what I'm saying right now. I in my spirit, I couldn't just walk off and not post this and not record this because it was so heavy on me. Because I'm feeling like even now as we speak today, there are people who are seeing that know what God has built for you has not yet unfolded or manifested up in your life, right? But they know that God is going to take you there because these very same people saw it from the beginning before they went up against you. And now they're seeing like, okay, God is handling us and he's still yet putting this person's life back together. So when Joseph's brothers threw him in that pit, they never thought that they would have to go back. You ain't never had nobody speaking like this to you, man. Listen, when Joseph's brothers threw him up in that pit, they never thought for 1 second that they would have to go back and that their very life, that their stability, them eating and having a meal on their stomach would depend upon this very same brother that they sat up here and despised, joked, humiliated, and they all was on the ends and agreed to sit up here and sell their own brother into slavery. They're all going to regret what they've done against you. And this is not me sitting up here coming on here and speaking messages of revenge for it to be enacted, because God say vengeance is mine, so saith the Lord. Let me tell you something. These people are going to regret it because they didn't have a reason from the beginning to sit up here and be a fake friend, to be a bully, to take your love and soil your love and taint your name, your image, your reputation. People didn't have a reason when they sat up here and planted themselves around you, knowing that they didn't have no good intentions for you. People know that they didn't have a reason to sit up here once you left the room, once you left their house, once you left from in their presence, talking about you, spreading whatever it is that they knew about you. People know that all these different actions that they took against you, to fraud you, to betray you, to steal from you, to hurt you, and then on top of that, add insult to injury. They could sit up here and do you wrong and cheat on you, slide you every which way but left, but want to control how you move forward in life and who you move forward with. Baby, let me tell you something. When I tell you, if it was ever put into question of who you are, I don't think people would probably put a title on you. But at the end of the day, people know that there's something special about you and they're not trying to sit up here and try you no more. They're not going to sit up here and play with your name. They're not going to play with your kids. They for sure not going to play with your life. Now, I'm not going to say that every single person like in Joseph's situation is going to have to come back to you and need something from you, need a place to stay, a place to sleep, or some food or some money from you. But hey, baby, you never know, because I'm going to tell you something. They wanted you out here and wanted to tell people not to genuinely help you. So they really wanted to really force something on your life, and then they didn't want you to have no kind of help. So it's looking like whenever they sit up here and go through what they go through, people willingly ain't gonna want to help this person because they know they a dog, they a monster, fate, and they two-timing. These are people who are gonna these people never gonna be able to keep people in their life because it's something in them. Until they learn how to heal that, see, you've done the work, you went through the dark night of soul, you are willing, so God is able to do what he needs to do for your life. See, that's the difference what sets you apart from these different people. You are willing. You may have had to knock your head up against a couple times, learn a couple things, go through a couple lessons or two with people, places, things. But the thing is, you were willing, so God is able. That's the difference. You give that lining, that inning for God to come through in your life and work what he needs to work in your life. No matter how hard, no matter how easy it is, and you're being rewarded for it because you've always stayed dutiful, faithful, and obedient to the Most High God and to other people around you. So what I'm saying is, I know for a fact, Jack, people going to regret how they did you because they know that coming around you, they bullied you and joked you for the very person that you are. Meaning they bullied and joked you for being integral, for being loyal, being dutiful, being giving, for being a person with some sense, got their head on straight, and for being a person who has their soul, their spirit in alignment with not just themselves, not just with God, but the people around you. You, every time if a person is blessed and graced enough to be up in your presence, you're always served as some type of a blessing to people. And so I'm telling you, because of that, because of your duty and your service, God has to reward you, and these people are going to regret how they did you. Point blank, period. Follow me for more videos. I love you.